Morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Recruiter Zone special. This is the first time I've done a breakfast Recruiter Zone, and I see we have a global audience, so that's quite exciting. So if you're watching us here on Crowdcast, feel free to say hi in the chat. If you're watching us over on LinkedIn, I'm going to pop over there in a second and share the link. And if you're watching this on the replay and you think, oh, there's a question I really wanted to ask, I bet they're not going to get to it, then you can get in touch with us afterwards, because down the bottom here, there's a link that you can click on and you can contact my guests. I was just about to introduce you, but I'm going to let you introduce yourself. So over to you two. Who are you and who do you work with?
I'm Nicole Clark, co-founder of Shazamme, the latest recruitment marketing website technology, and very excited to be here. Hopefully the audience will get a heap out of all our learning and experience and lots of great stuff that can make them more successful online.
Cool.
Great. Thanks, Nicole. I'm Rick Mare, also the co-founder of Shazamme, and it's wonderful to be here today. It's a shame we can't be in the UK to do this live with Louise, but hopefully soon we can leave lovely Australia. Look, I've been doing this since 2007. We are talking today about Shazamme and all things marketing. It's my fourth iteration of recruitment technology, so good to be here.
Yeah, we might talk a little bit about your background. If you wonder why I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm typing into LinkedIn where people can find us. Might talk a little bit about your background. That would be quite interesting. Cool. Hi, Annette. Hi, Tony. Hi, Stephen. I'm not going to do shout outs to people who haven't said hello. So if you want a shout out, say hi. Now, we spoke last week on Friday for the team Tech Day, and you talked about obviously recruitment marketing. What's the topic that we're covering today?
Today we are looking at must-have recruitment marketing strategies for 2021 and beyond. There's a lot of very easy things that people can do to be much more successful moving forward, so we want to impart some of that knowledge.
All right, cool. So this is recruitment marketing focused, things that people can do themselves. Obviously, quite a lot of the ways you work with other people is you're helping them do some of this stuff for themselves. So we're going to talk about the services that you provide, where your specialism is, but what people can be doing themselves. And I feel that at the very start of the pandemic, back in March 2020, when everything was kind of slightly going weird, I heard a lot of people saying how marketing was the very first thing that got dropped. So, you're going to furlough people as furlough our marketing people first. We're going to stop spending money. Well, we committed to a CRM, but some of these marketing tools we're going to ditch. But then within 6 months, marketing was literally the most important thing to continue to build your relationships. I don't know what your experience has been around that.
Yeah, look, totally. I think people often see marketing as an unnecessary expense. And yeah, we saw globally the exact same thing. People dropped marketing spend only to then turn around and go, oh my gosh, now we've got to catch up because we need people and they're behind the 8 ball. I think it also did give people, though, an opportunity to think about how to be smarter at their marketing and start looking at ways that something that we're really passionate about is, bringing that foundational layer, getting that right, because you may actually have been spending money unnecessarily that you could have achieved quite easily if you just built that solid foundation of really your website environment and your social media channels in the first place. So yeah, keen to explore that, but yeah, saw that globally.
One of the things you just said there just reminded me of something. So there was also a point in time where websites were not marketing. Marketing was that thing you did with the flyers and the merch at events. And then it was kind of like, is an e-shot marketing or is it sales? Is my website marketing? I don't know whether Rick, you've obviously just said you've been around for absolutely forever. I mean, I know you didn't use those words, but that's what you implied. Yeah, like myself, you've been around for a long time. I mean, it's a bigger question, but what's the evolution of marketing? Has it always been recruitment websites?
Look, obviously digital is something that's been growing in the recruitment space quite prolific. And I guess still in the bigger picture, recruiters don't spend as much on marketing as other industries do. So I think from our research, it shows that recruitment agencies are one of the lowest spenders on marketing. And I guess what we're trying to do now is create a much bigger digital footprint through our technology and the way we approach it. So obviously it all starts with your shop front, which is your recruitment website that needs to be optimized as well as it can do, so that it has landing pages, SEO, PPC is translated into leads, focused on clients and candidates and people working for your business. And then now we've expanded into what we call the recruitment marketing dashboard that pulls everything in the world of digital together into one dashboard. So you can literally see if you're connected to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Indeed, all of your listings online. It brings it all together in one place, and your website as well. So now you've got this one view of how well your brand is recognized in the World Wide Web. And we really haven't seen that before. And we've been doing this for a long time. We've probably launched and seen over 1,500 websites globally in the past 10 years. This is really the first, and the feedback from business owners is this is just amazing, because now on one view I can see how well my brand is being viewed by our clients and candidates.
The dashboard, absolutely want to look at. Now, normally we wouldn't do a demo on something like this, but I am going to get you to show me that in a minute. I just want to say hi to a few. So I just said to people on LinkedIn, say hi as you join us. So hi, Lizanne, Zenatul, Jim Beresford. Jim, why aren't you over on Crowdcast? You know where to find us. I mean, that's the cool thing about LinkedIn, actually. Actually, what we're talking about here is bringing people together, isn't it? That people are absorbing our content in different places and we don't necessarily know. And I guess you can't have a firm strategy if you don't know where they are and how they're viewing you. I mean, do you want to just, can you show us the dashboard at all?
Yeah, just give us 1 minute, so I'll do that.
Do you want me to be jumping in there?
Yeah, if you can, that'd be great.
Cool. Yeah, and I am really interested in seeing that. I mean, often we just chat about stuff, but being able to actually look at it is really valuable. Rick, you shared a really cool video at the start of the team session, which I am going to get you to play later as well, because I really like that. I reckon we should have a bit of music on all shows. How you doing there? I did a little dance along when you played it at the team event. I mean, that's the really cool thing when your camera's off, no one can see. And actually, it'd be really cool, Jim, if you do want to join us over here, because I suspect that some of the people you're working with, some of those relationships, you'll have some great insight onto the challenges that they're facing. And then Annette's in a type of organisation where I'd be very interested in knowing, what your challenges are, Annette. I know that you've seen that we're doing this marketing event at the end of the year, and I've got Nicole and Rick joining us for that. So actually, that's investigating this into 2022. What more can you be doing? Right, are you ready to share something, Nicole? Yes.
Yes, hopefully I will be sharing something in a minute.
You are sharing something. Cool.
Fantastic. We're on a winner.
Tell us about it.
So just as a little bit of a background about this, what we found with recruitment, obviously everyone's very busy doing what they're doing, and marketing is just one of those things that often gets sort of pushed to the side or is rushed. Often you don't have the data and the analytics around what's exactly going on with your brand across the World Wide Web. And I think that's sad, because now we should more than ever be looking at data and analytics to decide what channels we should be spending money on, but also making sure that we're getting the most value for no spend, really. And there's a lot of things that you can be doing across your business to make sure that you're channeling as much traffic to your website, which, to answer your earlier question, should be your pillar of your marketing efforts to drive traffic back to your website for people to engage with you. So simple things like just understanding what's going on with your social posts. Are you getting traction? Are people visiting you on Google? And really important to get your SEO up, obviously, because it costs you nothing if you're organically being found. Things like reviews. So what we've done here, we've just clicked on the executive report, and this is a report that any agency can run on their brand once a week, once a month. You can send it through to stakeholders in the business to see how you're tracking from a digital perspective. This is your listing score. So where do you appear? is where you appear correctly portraying your address, your phone number, your company name. It's amazing how many times you get errors and inconsistencies in things like that. Basic data around all your Google Analytics, where you're being mentioned in the World Wide Web, your reputation. So the dashboard's really cool. Social posting, so you can post once to multiple channels across social platforms. And we've also just integrated being able to post jobs as well out into social platforms. And you can actually do that at a recruiter level. So each recruiter can have their jobs being shared to their profiles as well, which is pretty exciting. Reputation management, so asking for reviews online, so important for your SEO and also trust. So yeah, reputation, you know, with people mentioning you, they trust this like a friend is telling them to use your services. Lots of insights, analytics and data. So it brings in Google Analytics, your social media, what posts are getting the best results, website analytics. So it really is the information hub for everything you do. And then there's different modules as well around social posting and different things.
So, Louise, what we found is that business owners that have adopted this really are saying for the first time they're actually getting a digital view of their business. And that's, I guess, the exciting part.
I think that's absolutely amazing. I love that. And how simple the way in which you just showed us that. It's not complicated for people to look at. There's a few things I want to pick up on it. One of them is, before I do that, Andrea's just said to me on LinkedIn that you are entering something like the world's longest lockdown over there, Nicole.
Yes,
We are.
that's me. Rick's in Sydney. I'm the global world leader in lockdowns. Yes.
Yeah. That's some. I don't know whether you get an award for that or some sort of trophy or
commiseration.
No,
Lots of bottles of champagne.
Just an extra 10 or 15 kilos on my body.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Thanks for joining us, Andrea. You mentioned reviews. And then when we spoke on the team day, one of the things I asked you about was the reviews that you're getting, and we can come to that. But encouraging recruiters to really think about that. I find it the strangest thing is that how we don't like to ask for that feedback. Did we do well? And, are you helping recruiters to understand the value of that?
Totally. Look, it's so important now. And it's one of those things that recruiters always went, I'm not asking for reviews. And they tried to, shy away of it, scared that if someone left a bad review, which you're going to get, like there's always going to be someone out there that might not say something nice. But it's the biggest thing is to be asking proactively your audience to leave you reviews, because people are going to go and look for them. And if you're not asking the people who had a great experience, the only ones who are going to comment are the ones that aren't happy. And from a SEO perspective, even if you get the occasional bad review, as long as you respond timely and you diffuse the situation and apologize if it is warranted and move on, and you're buffering that with other good reviews, it won't hurt your reputation at all.
So I want to know, for the people watching here, people watching on LinkedIn, anybody, I want to know when the last time someone asked for a review was. When was the last time? Because I reckon that I have never proactively asked for one on things like LinkedIn. And someone has to be so gushing to me on an email before I think I'm going to ask them whether they'll leave me a review. And then all they do is they email me back. That's not a review. That's just a testimonial I can put somewhere. I mean, what are you suggesting? We don't have TripAdvisor for recruiters. I mean, is this about getting Google reviews?
Most definitely. So, go, Rick.
Okay, it's a bit about everything. So even LinkedIn just recently in the last month introduced reviews on company pages now as well, so you can get star reviews. So there are quite a few companies around, like Recruiter Insider, Great Recruiter, that Sourcer, etc., that proactively look for reviews. Now, the issue that we see with some of those are they're closed ecosystems. So you get 1,000 reviews on one of those systems, but it doesn't go out to the World Wide Web and are attached to your brand and for people to publicly see and comment on. So that's the issue we see. And so we favor obviously Google reviews and now LinkedIn reviews because they are publicly indexed and publicly become available on your profile. So very important to have those, really out on the World Wide Web against your name.
Okay.
And Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, no, and Facebook. Your SEO is driven largely by your reviews online now. Actually, up to when you look at reviews and your reputation being that your brand is consistent and correct across the World Wide Web, those two things can make up to 20% of your search engine optimization benefits. So you do need to be embracing, start with Google, and LinkedIn and Facebook, and get your staff to leave reviews on Glassdoor. The more you can get, the better it does for your profile.
Okay, and so you touched on two things I was going to ask you about. Is I really like Justin at Recruiter Insider, but it is a closed environment, and that's maybe something amazing if you're going to drive potential customers. Look at this. This is where there's loads of amazing reviews. But for SEO and people just randomly finding you, that's not as valuable as LinkedIn, Facebook, Google. Yeah.
Yeah,
correct.
The dashboard makes it easy too, because people can easily reach out to ask via email to upload a list of candidates or clients, send out an email very quickly and easily to ask for reviews.
So I've just pulled up yours. So this is 26 5-star reviews. Didn't prepare this beforehand. This could have been awkward, but actually I knew they were good. And I see that for some of these, you've got the response from the owner. That feels to me like that's quite important, is it? Always.
Oh, so important. Yeah, so important. And it's great to get different people's perspectives of their experience and show that to the world, because you get so many leads and opportunities off that. It's one of the first things people look at.
And I love the fact that I'm guessing that every time you comment back and say thank you, and you're using the keywords in your responses. Is that on purpose, that you're saying, thank you for being so complimentary about our recruitment marketing? You doing that?
That's a really good question. I didn't even know I was doing it. But yeah, look, I think as many keywords as you can get in there about what it is you're actually doing, and responding really timely to any review is also important from an SEO benefit. But yes, lots of reviews are going to help your business.
Cool. Okay. I really want to find out a bit more about the LinkedIn reviews. So I know that you're going to write a couple of articles for us. So whether maybe one of them you could manage to sneak something in about that, because I think that would be quite interesting. I haven't even looked at that yet. So I will. I'd like to look into that. Okay,
it's only new.
Cool.
We can certainly do an article on it. I did post something on LinkedIn last week just announcing that it was introduced. It's not as easy as I'd hoped. You have to actually dig a bit deeper to find it. It's not front and center yet, so hopefully they'll make some changes.
All right, cool. Okay, well, I'll have a look into that with you, because I'm really keen to find out more about that. But yeah, I see some recruiters who are really good at asking for personal testimonials, but again, that's hidden right within their LinkedIn profile. That is not going to be helping them in the same way as some of these other things are. All right, cool.
Yeah, just on that, I think it's important to break that down into recruitment agency reviews and personal reviews, because obviously if somebody leaves the agency, and as we all know, there is quite a high turnover in agency land, the review needs to really stay with the company, and it needs to be relevant to that company. So we're thinking about ways to bring that hierarchy in so that you can actually ask for a company review and then also personal reviews. Yeah.
Let's do something about reviews entirely. I'd love an article for you on that, because actually also Facebook reviews. I mean, I'm like your biggest customer on needing to do this stuff properly. I've never even thought about trying to get reviews on my Facebook page. I've got a really strong following on LinkedIn and Facebook. Just because I've been around for so long, I ought to probably capitalize on that. So next things we're going to talk about, because I've realized I've obsessed about reviews. So some of the other things that you're doing, what are the most important, the most high impact things that you're doing with customers?
So one of one of the most, I guess, fundamental things that we sort of highlight to our clients is there's technology, and yes, the technology is fantastic and it's so easy to use and they can do everything, but if you don't use it correctly, you still end up with a substandard recruitment footprint. So what we tend to educate people on is what we call the ideal recruitment site architecture. Now, it may sound like a mouthful, but it's actually quite easy. And the way, I guess, put the analogy again, which Nicole loves me using, is that if you're selling toasters on your website and you don't talk about toasters, you're never going to sell a toaster. And the amount of websites, recruitment websites that we see that, let's take, for example, they're in IT recruitment, they don't have it split into two significant segments. So one for employers, and that talks about IT recruitment, and one for candidates, talking about IT jobs. Now, they throw everything in one bucket and just talk about IT. Now, if you put your search engine hat on, if you don't mention those terminologies, they're not going to know you're a recruiter. They just think you're a technology provider. You could be a PC shop. You could be someone else. So it is very important people understand the recruitment site architecture. And we see some of the biggest global recruitment agencies still not getting that right, yet some of our smaller clients are getting it right and winning all the way every day because they've followed that architecture. So there's actually, we've created an ebook which we will share through this that explains all of those elements of what a really good recruitment site should have.
So a couple of things around that. One is recruitment websites have been around for quite a long time. So have recruitment agencies. We all know recruitment agencies have clients and candidates. It is no surprise, but pretty shocking, they're still getting it wrong. I mean, that's kind of like basics. I judge the National Online Recruitment Awards. Stephen's here now. Say hi, Stephen, in the chat. So I judge the National Online Recruitment Awards every year. Have been doing it for 20 years. But he's logged in as Recruiter Zone. He's just written hello as Recruiter Zone. So yeah, I've been judging them for 20 years. And there's still these sites where I am thinking, I just don't understand who your client is going to be. If I was a candidate, I wouldn't know that you serve me. I'm going to move on to something else. It just seems so basic, Rick.
It is absolutely basic. That's why we wrote the ebook, just to reiterate how basic it is. It's like it's a recipe. It's, you follow the recipe and you get a perfect recruitment website. But the problem that we've seen, and sort of this highlights how different the recruitment industry is. We've seen some amazing, and the one you're looking at or you looked at on the screen before, was serviced by one of the top SEO marketing agencies in Australia, and they just didn't get recruitment. So what they ended up with was just a very expensive website that had very expensive SEO on a very expensive HubSpot platform, and they didn't get any of the results. As soon as we moved them across, and we showed them and they read the ebook, they go, why have I been paying all this money if it's so basic and you guys can just turn that around in a week or two and it's all fixed? And we just say, well, that's the common problem, in that the industry is quite unique. Unless you've done the hard yards, you've built 1,500 websites, you've worked with the largest in the world, the Adecos, the Manpowers, and the smallest, you don't really understand the issues.
So ebook, let's make sure we share that. And Stephen's saying agency websites are often in the dark ages, and actually so are job boards. Maybe we shouldn't start on job boards. Do you ever work with job boards? No?
Over to you, Nicole.
Look, we sort of see job boards are always going to be around, I think, for quite some time. But really what we're passionate about is that the client's job board becomes their own mini commercial job board. And if they structure their website correctly and their jobs, the integrations is what I was going to mention before, is, integrating into your ATS and getting the job feed and populating it on your website so it helps your SEO. We ideally want people finding your job board over and above others. And the really cool stuff you can do now is slice and dice your job board to show jobs in a particular location, jobs of a particular type, and you can add those to any of your pages. So the SEO picks up. In a lot of cases, we're seeing our clients appearing above the major job boards because they are so niche in what they've.
Yeah. And that's what I want to see. I love job boards. I run the speakers for a job board conference. So don't get me wrong. I think they're great. They've got a place. But surely if you're doing this right, people are coming directly to you. And then that's a much better candidate experience, isn't it? Is that they're not going through a job board and they're not having to register with that and putting a load of random information that you don't need. They're coming to you and you're able to manage them through the process.
Totally. So ideally with good SEO, people will find the job board, and I am going to show this because I think it's really cool. We're always stuck with job boards looking exactly the same, and I think it's now about being able to really change. So as you type, the job board is actually refining for you, and our job boards can look like whatever you would like them to look like now. You can slice and dice them, 1 job, 2 jobs, borders, no borders. Now it's about driving traffic through really high converting landing pages with jobs on it to your brand.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely brilliant. And this is what for recruiters, cutting out steps has got to be the right thing. I wanted to talk about integrations actually as well. So that integration between a website and an ATS or CRM hasn't always been there. And I think that's also been part of the problem, is that you take a job spec from the client, and where are you putting it into? You're putting it into your CRM so that you can match your existing candidates against it. But you also want to share that on your site. So are you saying that's more seamless?
Rick, do you want to talk to the integrations?
Yeah, absolutely. So the integrations to us has always been, from the day we started this journey in 2008, integrations have always been sort of a hotly contested topic with the ATSs. So some ATSs want to keep everything closed, and they want to make sure that, people register with them and really put all these barriers in front of it. So the point where we got to now is that obviously the industry has moved 10 years ahead, 12 years ahead. The best ATSs have survived, and they mostly have all open APIs. So what that means is that we can manage data coming from the ATS and we push it into the ATS very seamlessly. Where we've moved to now even further is we've removed the issue of password on the application form. So we're now at the point where everything is we've removed every barrier. We've got one-click applies with, in Australia, the major job board, but also LinkedIn and other methods like Google and Facebook, so that the whole process of applying on the mobile is now so seamless. We're looking at video applications on the job application page as well. So we've really totally changed it. But there are still, believe it or not, there are still some ATSs that refuse to have open APIs, and they say, no, you have to use our application page, and we want you to register and put a password in and jump through 10 other hoops, and they wonder why their clients are getting hardly any applications through their own website.
You say believe it or not, and I do believe it. So I want to talk about video in a second. I'm just going to make a couple of comments over from LinkedIn. So Lizanne says, I've never asked for a review. And Lizanne is a recruiter, a talent sourcer. So I'm going to have a little word with Lizanne. Maybe we'll share that article with you. And then Carla said, I think reviews are important, not only for the possibility of attracting new clients or candidates, but it also boosts the esteem of the company and their employees. And that's a really good point, isn't it? Is that, you ask for a review because it's outward facing, but how cool to have a love channel. Oh, that sounds awful. But an internal notice board of love where you're sharing all these great things which customers are saying about you as a team. It's got to be an internal positive as well. So yeah, I love that.
Absolutely. And I'll also just add, and I guess we've been in a position where previously, when our technology was older, you didn't want to ask reviews because you knew your service wasn't up to scratch. And I guess to the point now where our clients are telling us how wonderful the technology is, and they're actually, wanting to tell us how it's changed their business. So now, we feel much more comfortable about asking a review. So it's almost like a self-assessment to go, am I good? Yes. Why can't I ask for a review? I'm bad. I'm not going to ask for a review. So it's like almost that self-fulfilling exercise, you should be proud to do what you do and love what you do, and then you'll ask for reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as simple as it is.
Years ago, when I worked for a recruitment company, we engaged some highfalutin business who was going to go out and do these 360 feedbacks for everybody and ask all these questions. And it never went anywhere. It was kind of like an Excel spreadsheet where we went, oh, that's lovely. But what we're talking about here is just so simple, is you're saying to people, these are the 3 places that you could leave a review for us. And I guess that you would help recruiters determine which had the most value. So do you go Google, then Facebook, then LinkedIn? You know, you're going to help them with that. And then that's all you're saying is, hopefully we are doing for you what you really need us to. Let us know about it. As Stephen said, the candidate experience is directly affected by everything you were talking about. Unhappy candidates are going to leave unhappy candidates are likely to leave a poor review. I want to talk about video. How important in recruitment marketing is video?
Video is massively important for a lot of reasons. We see every recruiter really on their profile page should have a video of themselves talking about who they are and why they can help that candidate or that client find the right people. Video, YouTube, just for some statistics, you know, YouTube is the largest used search engine now. I think like 80% of people in the UK are using, the audience is using YouTube. So getting yourself a YouTube channel and putting videos up there is very important. I am just quickly going to share my screen again because it actually goes really well into the ability now, and back to the thought about job boards and needing job boards. Now, building landing pages or campaign pages where you can share that link through LinkedIn to the exact people you want finding that job, or even clients you could do it for. But putting videos, you know, if you've got an exec role that there might only be 10 people, 20 people that you're reaching out to, put a video, drive them to a landing page that, rather than asking them to apply for a job, ask them to register their interest, because that person is most likely already in a job. So if you can drive them, bless you, if you can drive them back to a landing page that's converting and it's got a video on there of saying, hi, thank you so much for coming to the page. You are 1 in 10 people we've chosen to be perfect for this opportunity. You know, that's a real sales pitch. And video is, just so important. Quite a few of our clients are using these landing pages with really good results with video.
I love that. Although you do seem to have just shown a photograph which reflects Christmas, and we are only in September. So that's a big no-no. I will let you off. So Kyle's asked a question. I quite like this. This is like a kind of form of speccing out candidates or having a available candidate database. He said, I'm busy working on a portal which will house all our job-ready candidates for recruiters and employers to inquire about. So these are candidates who are international, starting their immigration process to relocate to Australia and other countries. So is this a good idea for recruiters and employers to do, this kind of like ready to be placed candidate list? Have you seen that?
Yeah. Rick, do you want to talk to this one, or do you want me to?
No, you can do it.
Yeah, good. So, we've always called that a reverse job board. So rather than people coming in looking for jobs, people are coming in looking for candidates. So, look, I truly believe if you can do, we're in the process of just creating that at the moment for a client, and there is great scope for it. It's fully searchable database. Some of the ATS platforms that we integrate, one of the things that's getting a lot of traction at the moment is a client portal where the client can log in, view their job orders, view the shortlisted candidates against those open jobs. And the flip piece of that is also then serving up, you know, other people that in a searchable database that could be perfect for roles. So yes, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, no, I really like that. And I think that it's, I mean, you know, you see recruiters who send out this basically text email with all their active applicants. I mean, that is not going to be getting good results, is it? They're just text heavy and often they're coders. So there's like, you know, 14 lines of numbers and letters. So yeah, Kyle, that sounds like good to go. So Kyle, when you've done that, let me see, and I will include that in the post event blog. And Nicole, if you've got an example that we can include, that would be really cool too. I'm just trying to find my questions. I've got too many windows open. Okay, so one of the questions I asked on the team day, which I actually want to ask again now, is around your pricing. So, you're sharing some tips with us here now, but you have a charged for service. How does that work? Are people buying into you on a monthly basis? Is it an annual package? Is it like a pick the bits they want?
Yep. It's a bit of all of that. So the way we look at it is that our recruitment website platform, which is, as we mentioned, no code, latest technology, it's the Wix for recruitment. Anyone on today's session could actually build themselves a website because we've got all the tools, widgets, integrations in there. But what most recruiters tend to do is they come to us and go, yep, we like what we see. And they can choose whether they do it themselves or we do it for them. So typically we get most of the clients to say, you get us started, you build whatever we have today or a better version, and then hand it over to them. So yes, there is a onboarding / configuration charge. That's a one-off fee. And that depends on the size of the business, the size of the website, etc. And then there's a monthly recurring licensing fee, and that starts at $99 USD a month. So for small recruitment agencies up to 5, that's $99 USD a month, and it goes up to $169 USD a month for above that and right to the top. So that's sort of our pricing model. That is for the website. Then yes, there are other products that we mentioned, the recruitment marketing dashboard. So that's $138 USD a month. And then we've got some other products as well. So yeah, it's a pick what you want and then work with it.
That's very competitive pricing compared to your competitors, isn't it?
It
Absolutely.
is. Yeah, it really is. And yeah, we really want to help startup or smaller companies as well that often end up paying a lot of money for something that's not great.
No.
And I just quickly crunch the numbers here. It's about £660 to build a startup website up to 5 people, and then it's about £75 a month.
That's amazing.
And then it scales up at great value. Yeah.
So I wouldn't normally put pricing information in blog posts, but I am going to make sure you mention that in there, because I think that one of the things, it's really tricky, Rick, that, we're talking about the longevity, number of businesses you've started at, the longevity you and Nicole have, the experience you have. People might make an assumption that you're going to be out of their reach from a pricing perspective. So, yeah.
Yeah. And look, we were just talking the other day about one of our great clients that we hopefully will win back again. That probably only 5 years ago we charged them 100,000 Australian dollars to build their website, and that was one of Australia's biggest recruitment agencies. But today we just can't realistically tell them that it's going to be 100,000. It'll probably be more like 8,000, 9,000, and that's purely because the technology that we've got, as I said before, anyone on this call can do it. So it's just a factor of how many pages, how easy is it to build. There is no complexity anymore.
And we build it for them, and it takes days, not months.
Yeah.
That's just amazing. Okay, so someone's asked me a question over on LinkedIn. Rick, this is for you. I think it's because you mentioned toasters earlier. Why are you working in the recruitment space? Why? This is an awful question. Why not somewhere sexier?
Well, look, that's a good question, but we love the recruitment industry. We've had the luxury and the pleasure of traveling globally for the past sort of 10 years when we could travel, and hopefully that will open up again next year. But we love going to conferences around the world, meeting people, finding ways to better the industry, and obviously ultimately the candidate experience. And I guess where the journey started, and just adding a bit of flavor to it, the reason I started my first business was because I just hated going to a job board and applying for a job because it was so painful. And so I thought there has to be a better way, and here we are 15 years later.
Is it 15 or is it 20, Rick?
15.
Okay. This question is over from LinkedIn. It says, would you be able to market for an international company like his? Now, you're working globally, yeah?
Absolutely. We've got global clients already. We are probably in 6-7 countries already: Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Singapore, UK, Holland, and the USA and Canada, I think. So yeah, we've got a global audience. Yeah.
Cool. If I didn't already have a full-time job and another full-time job, I would be applying to be your UK rep. I think that it's great.
We love that.
Yeah, I do you know.
You can still do that, Louise.
Yeah, I could fit it in like at 3 a.m. What I really like about this is a few things. One is that this is not just a tiny part of recruitment marketing. This is about bringing everything together. I love the dashboard. I just think that's just so amazing for recruiters. And like you say, nobody else is able to offer anything like that. I like the fact that you both are so generous in your knowledge as well. And I think that it's really hideous. But, you know, we say people buy from people, but they're genuinely able to have a conversation with you, aren't they, clients?
Absolutely.
Totally.
And I guess one of the other things that probably we haven't shared with you, Louise, in such fashion, but in the past, and the people in the industry that we know play in this space, everything is secretive. Like the pricing is secretive. Nothing's shared openly. And, you know, if you want information, it's not that easy. So this time around, as we started, we said we want pricing to be transparent, totally transparent. There's no sort of finger in the air going, how much can we charge their customer because they've got nice offices and etc. So this is transparency, 24/7 chat. So we want everyone to have access to our team 24/7, and that's probably been the number one change that we've had from all the clients that came across from other people to go, this is just amazing. I don't need to chase tickets anymore because you provide the answer instantly. And most of the time, as we know, recruiters want things instantly because they're working on a campaign or a landing page. So they don't want to wait 7 days to get an answer. They want it done instantly. So that one, we've got an academy that we put all videos and learning material about, you know, this is the best way to do this. If you want to build a landing page, do this. So they get an academy. And then we also have a Facebook community where we share all things that are worthwhile sharing. So all the updates on widgets, and you know, every week we'll put 5 or 6 new widgets up and new layouts, etc. So everything is transparent. So there's no more hiding from our customers. So I guess that's the key message here.
You also missed no lock-in contracts. So we don't want to lock anyone into a contract. We've seen that in the industry, and it's just your product and your service should speak for itself. So I think that's so important too.
Do you know, it is, because I think that the recruiters, most of them cannot build their own websites. They cannot develop their own websites. And so when they start working with someone, it is kind of behind the curtain. And they're like, if I move away from these people, they're not going to help me move somewhere else. They're going to make me stay for another 3 years, paying them for stuff I don't understand that they're doing. So I think that's really important. Okay, a few final questions. Kyle's in South Africa, by the way, Cape Town. So you could totally cover that with him. Facebook community, how do people find out about that? Is that for customers or for
only for customers? Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, okay, I like that. A little club. So another community, question.
Society.
Oh yeah, sorry, club. How many people mispronounce your company name?
Lots.
Not many.
I struggle with it every single time. I struggle with it. I had to write it down phonetically before you did the team talk. In my head, I just couldn't get it. But I can say Nicole and Rick, so that's absolutely fine.
That's easy.
It is. So I see that you have a try for free button. How on earth do you do a free trial on something like this?
Well, look, it's quite easy. So we've got a range of themes, templates, design inspirations, whatever you want to call it, that we can spin up in about 5 minutes, and then we can give someone access to play around with it. We've got the beauty about how we've done it is we've got sections. We call them sections for each of the key areas in recruitment. So there's a section for job boards. There's a section for login page, register page. For everything you can think of, we build sections. So you can literally go, I want to add a section here, and you can choose from 5 or 6 of those layouts, and you can just plug it in. If you really wanted to, you could just connect your job at a Bullhorn, Broadbean, Itabu instance, and you can see jobs flowing in. So we just want people to have a full, transparent ability to assess what we've got. And so far, everyone that's seen our product either by trial or a product demo, we've had a 97% conversion rate. So the acceptance of what we've done and how different it is just been phenomenal. I can't
no more
say
code, no coding.
I love that.
So that's really why we've done the trial. Again, most of the people in the industry or our competitors, you don't see really what you get till you've paid and delivered it, and then you go, well, it's not actually what I wanted, or it's too hard. So that's really, again, it's all about transparency. We just want to make the industry better and more transparent for technology.
Cool. I've got a testimonial here, which is direct messaged to me, which you would like, which is they are very good at explaining themselves in a friendly and compelling way. So there you go.
Oh, thank you.
Nice? I can't tell you who that was. It wasn't my mum or your mum. It was a real person. So I've got two final questions for you. My next question is, what's the question I didn't ask you that I should have asked you? Have I missed anything off?
Probably, how easy is it to transfer from one provider to us is probably the question I would ask.
Go for it. How easy is it?
And I'll let Nicole answer it.
Thanks for that, Rick. Yeah, so look, we can do a multitude of things. Just for people who have a brand, we often have clients that already have set up a website. They've possibly paid quite a lot to a marketing agency to get it set up, but they don't have the integrations that they need and all the tools and things to really be self-sufficient with their website. We can take that brand, build it straight over onto our platform. That'll normally take around 2 weeks. The other way is they can choose a template, and then they know what the layout's going to be, and they can insert their imagery, brand guidelines, etc. The other is we can also do custom builds. So it's very, very easy. You get total clarity the whole way along, and and we just look forward to sending them all live.
Cool. That is absolutely brilliant. And then my final question is, how can people get in touch with you? Now, I'm going to turn this into a blog, so the people who are watching on the replay will already know, but what's the best ways to get in touch?
Definitely through our web. Yeah, you go.
Best way is through our website, through chat. So if they want a real-time chat with us, every single one of our platforms, including our website, has a real-time chat, so they can chat with us. There's a book a demo form, there's get a free trial form, there's pretty much anything you can think of. We actually, one of the new additions which we're adding this week is that every one of our widgets that we have will actually have its own page, and you can actually see it in real action, how it works with videos, explaining all of them. So overall, I think we've got, over 100 widgets about pretty much anything you could ever think of for recruitment, and just general websites. They'll all have their own page and explanation and videos around what it does. I'm
just going to share the little sorry, you see my notifications, but yeah, when you go to your site, I love the fact that there's this in the bottom corner, the "We Are Here" little pop up, and then you can start a conversation. Look at that. How simple is that? Really, really, a lovely, simple website. That bit of video there, right in the middle. Cool. Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing that.
You want us to play?
Chatters, or join us on LinkedIn. We're always here to help. I did just get a connection request from South Africa, so that was great. That's perfect. That's how it works.
Yeah, look at that. Really nice. Oh, sorry, you can see the notifications for my notifications. This is why I shouldn't be allowed to screen share things. Although I might have just shared one tab there, so that's fine. Okay, cool. So people can get in touch with you on LinkedIn via the website. You're both very easy to find on LinkedIn, which is great. You're going to be doing 2 more blog posts for me, I think we spoke about. And this is a really hard question to ask you, but when do you think you'll be able to get over to the UK?
Look, we're not allowed to actually leave the country unless we have special Prime Minister permission. So, look, until that is reviewed, we literally can't leave Australia. So, hopefully, my goal will be that early next year we'll be able to come to the UK.
Cool. Okay, great. So there's a couple of events happening in the early part of next year, which I'm hoping to see you at. And so, yeah, as soon as you come over, we'll be doing dinner, lunch, something like that.
All of those and more.
For sure.
Did you want us to play that video you mentioned?
I do. I want the video to be the going out video. If you want to share that, you have to make sure you click the share audio while you're putting that up. Yeah. So as soon as you've got that ready, we'll play it, and then I'll
put it ready
afterwards. So yeah.
All right. I'll
The
share
music
that.
to wake everyone up.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
know.
here we go. Here we go. A bit of who we are and what we do.
Fabulous. You can hear it, but oh yes, it.
Sorry, you can't see it?
I couldn't see it. I can see it now.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. My bad.
I'm going to turn off our cameras and our mics, but if you want to cue it up again, we'll go.
Fantastic. Sorry about the technology hiccup. Here we go.
No one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. 'Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. 'Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. We got the right stuff. We put the hammer right now. Wanna be like us? You better stick around. If you want it, you gotta prove it. Like we do it, like we do it. No one can do it like we do it. 'Cause no one can do it like we do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. No one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. 'Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. 'Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. 'Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
There we go.
I was having a little dance around to that, Rick. That was not anything anybody wanted to see. I'm just going to turn on our cameras again. Sorry, Nicole,
Right.
I turned your camera off. Well, hey, that's a really nice way. Do you know, I'm going to try and end all shows with a little bit of music video. That's quite a challenge for some people to manage to muster up a video. Yeah, thanks for sharing the link to that. So that's in there if anybody wants it. Cool. Okay. Well, our 30-minute show went to 52 minutes. You probably want to go and get a little cup of tea on the veranda, or a small glass of wine. I'm going to go and find my 7th cup of coffee. So thanks ever so much for joining me. Absolutely lovely chat. Anyone who wants to get in touch with you, they know how to do so, including the link down here. And I will hopefully see you two again really soon. Thanks ever so much.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.